Whoopi Goldberg shut down by and Coulter in a fiery debate on racial issues. A recent episode of The View took an explosive turn when Whoopi Goldberg and conservative commentator and Coulter clashed in a heated debate over racial issues. The fiery exchange captivated viewers, sparked a social media firestorm, and brought polarizing opinions to the forefront. What started as a conversation about race in America quickly turned into a verbal sparring match, with Coulter delivering sharp rebuttals to Goldberg's arguments and leaving the co-host momentarily stunned. This contentious debate served as a reflection of the broader ideological divide in the United States and underscored the challenges of discussing race in an increasingly polarized society. The spark that ignited the debate. The discussion began with the panel addressing recent headlines about affirmative action, systemic racism, and the state of racial equality in the United States. Whoopi Goldberg, a longtime advocate for social justice, argued passionately that racial inequities remain deeply entrenched in American society and that affirmative action is a necessary tool to level the playing field for marginalized communities. Until we address the root causes of systemic racism, we're going to keep having these conversations over and over again, Goldberg stated. Policies like affirmative action exist because the playing field isn't equal. It never has been. And Coulter, who is a guest on the show promoting her latest book, took issue with Goldberg's stance. Known for her unfiltered and provocative opinions, Coulter wasted no time pushing back, claiming that affirmative action and similar policies do more harm than good. "I disagree, Whoopi," Coulter said firmly. "Affirmative action doesn't solve the problem. It perpetuates it. It sends a message that minorities can't succeed on their own merit, and that's insulting. Equality isn't about lowering standards. It's about creating opportunities for everyone to compete fairly." The heated exchange. Goldberg, visibly frustrated by Coulter's remarks, argued that Coulter's perspective oversimplified a complex issue. "You're ignoring history," Goldberg fired back. "You can't erase centuries of oppression and then expect people to magically catch up without some kind of support system in place. That's not how it works." Coulter, unfazed, countered with statistics and historical references. "I'm not ignoring history. I'm acknowledging it," Coulter responded. "But at some point, we have to stop using history as an excuse to hold people back with policies that breed resentment and division. People want to be judged by their character, not by the color of their skin. Isn't that what Dr. King wanted?" The conversation escalated as both women raised their voices, each determined to make her point. Goldberg accused Coulter of minimizing the lived experiences of Black Americans, while Coulter accused Goldberg of promoting a victimhood mentality. "You sit there and talk about victimhood," Goldberg said, her voice tinged with anger. "But you don't live in the same world as the people these policies are meant to help. You don't know what it's like. And you think I've had everything handed to me on a silver platter?" Coulter shot back. "That's the problem with your argument, Whoopi. You assume anyone who disagrees with you has no idea what struggle looks like. But struggle isn't exclusive to one race." Audience reaction and social media buzz. The intense debate left the audience in stunned silence, with audible gasps and murmurs punctuating the exchange. On social media, the clip quickly went viral, with users weighing in on both sides of the argument. Supporters of Goldberg praised her for standing up to Coulter and defending policies aimed at addressing racial inequities. "Whoopi speaks truth to power," one user tweeted. "Affirmative action isn't about lowering standards. It's about giving people a fair shot." Coulter's supporters, meanwhile, applauded her for holding her ground and challenging what they saw as a one-sided narrative. "And Coulter is fearless," another user wrote. "She's right. Policies should empower individuals, not divide us further." Some viewers, however, expressed frustration with the overall tone of the debate, arguing that neither side offered a constructive path forward. "This is why we can't have productive conversations about race," one commenter lamented. "It's just people yelling at each other with no real solutions." The broader implications. The Goldberg-Coulter debate highlights the deep ideological divide surrounding race and social policy in America. At its core, the argument reflects a clash between two competing visions of equality. one that emphasizes systemic change to address historical injustices and another that prioritizes individual merit and self-reliance. Proponents of Goldberg's perspective argue that systemic racism cannot be dismantled without proactive policies like affirmative action, which aim to level the playing field for underrepresented groups. They contend that such measures are not about giving unfair advantages, but about correcting deeply ingrained disparities. Critics like Coulter, however, argue that these policies can inadvertently perpetuate division by emphasizing racial identity over individual achievement. They advocate for solutions that promote economic opportunity and educational access for all, regardless of race. Conclusion: a microcosm of the national debate. The fiery exchange between Whoopi Goldberg and Coulter serves as a microcosm of the larger national debate over race, equity, and social policy. While the two women may never see eye to eye, their clash underscores the importance of having these difficult conversations, even when they become uncomfortable. As the nation continues to grapple with issues of race and inequality, one thing is clear: finding common ground will require more than fiery debates and passionate rhetoric. It will take a willingness to listen, to empathize, and to seek solutions that empower all Americans to thrive. Whether you side with Goldberg's call for systemic reform or Coulter's emphasis on individual merit, the conversation they sparked is a reminder that the fight for equality is far from over, and that every voice, no matter how contentious, has a role to play in shaping the future.